So I grew up in Newham, one of the poorest boroughs in London, where the poverty rate currently sits at 37%. That's 10 points higher than London's average. Knife crime was a problem as well. I remember being a young girl, hearing that a murder had happened right behind my own home. But I was dedicated to show the other young people in my community that your current situation is not your final destination. My dad passed away when I was just 3 years old. So my role model has only really been my mum. But apart from her, there was a lack of role models in my life. A lot of motivational speakers who came into my school were far much older than me. They didn't go through the same things that I did. But where I was lucky enough to have my own mum, it was hard to find role models elsewhere. So in the absence of being the role model, I decided to become one. I campaigned to be the young mayor of Newham, and the campaign was a success. This gave me direct access to young people in my community to show them that they could achieve anything. I started public speaking and saw that young people across the borough resonated with my message. So I decided to post a motivational speak on YouTube. My message? To motivate young people to find out their why. A lot of us are given so much, but what are we going to do with it? That's when things really took off. It was shared to thousands of people, and teachers began asking me to speak at their schools. I was balancing my studies whilst delivering speeches to A-level Year 13 students. And finally, I was getting my message out there. I felt like I was on top of the world. But things changed. Things changed when I got to university. I was still speaking, working hard at my studies, and trying to be a presence in my community. But behind closed doors, I was suffering. Balancing schools, public speaking, my own personal development, it became overwhelming. I struggled to shower. I couldn't even eat. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't even talk to my mum. She would call and I'd tell her that I was too busy to talk. But my mum had a sixth sense for this sort of thing. She persisted, and eventually one day, I answered her call and I said I couldn't do it. She picked me up from university and brought me home. But still, things only got worse. It's hard to wake up feeling like the day ahead probably isn't worth living anymore. I had felt that way for such a long time, and after so long, I felt like it would never change. One night, my older brother Marv saw the sleeping pills I was about to take. I planned on taking my life that night. And I sat down for a talk, and he told me about Muhammad Ali, that when he got knocked down in the ring, his coach and his fans could yell at him and tell him to get up, but it was up to him to find the strength to do it. So that day, I needed to find the strength for myself. I opened the blinds in my bedroom. I worked hard to make sure I was eating at least once a day. I kept a journal of how I felt. It took time, but some days were harder than others. But I finally started to feel like myself again. WEDAY, I'd like to leave you with this. The most beautiful things and the most painful things can be one in the same. No matter how we look on the outside, anyone can suffer through mental illness. But at the end of every dark day, there is a bright new day. My struggles have pushed me to the edge of what I could handle, and they've made me the powerful, proud woman that I stand right now. I want any of you who feel like you've been struggling to do two things for me. Reach out and hold on, because you'll reach your brighter day. Thank you, WEDAY.